Hello, and we are back, and we're going to play another one of the stadium courses, and this is Trillium Park by R. Fitzgerald. And I confess this is another name I'm not that familiar with, so that is almost certainly just a me thing. Yeah, let's give this one a go. We have stands. Everyone's going white stands. I kind of more of a green stands guy myself. Ah, lots of these ones. I don't really use those ones. Interesting. Righty. Oh, we've gone for more of a kind of muted look. It's nice to see the non-white sand bunkers. Okay, yep. I see how. So we've got some more water bodies. Water and stadium courses seem like hand in glove sort of thing. Okay, and we've got some sort of SE fairways in places, winding around hazards. Let's have a little zoom around some of the planting. Fairway running water is very much the running into water is very much the theme of this contest. It would seem. Hmm. There's a lot of very big stands here. Don't know whether you'd need all of those. You might try to vary those up for just like the standard stand. Got some underbrush. At the negative space of the lake, there's a lot of stands. Ah, and we have a city skyline. Two city skylines. Excellent. And some like autumnal tree bits. And is this where we're starting, or is this just standing around? Standing around. Oh, cool. What are they watching? Oh, this is just. Oh, this will be like the. I guess like where the big TV screens and things would be. Oh, hello, whole signs, my old friend. Should have known. Oh, what's over here? Nice. This is interestingly done, and a very long bridge with no supports, which a feat of engineering. I wonder what all this is. I mean, bunkers and things like that. Lovely. I don't remember where the first tee is. Let's zoom back. Oh, okay, we're right in the middle. Off the tee, it presents nicely. It's a good thing we've got the whole sign to tell us where we are. So if we play way out here, we're blocked out. That's okay. It's a par 5. We need to challenge the bunkers to not be. I would say this is very severe. That's a lot of. Yay! Thank you. They just, yeah. One of those things like we don't need them everywhere. I don't know. And they people know my thoughts. Okay. We're now off a side sloping lie. I'm going to work our way up to here. I'd say some of the bunkers are a little better than others. If I were to guess, I would say bunker sculpting is something that is a work in progress and we're practicing. Ooh. Let's go find that really big runoff. Bounce through it into the heavy rough is my bet. Yep. Eee. Yeah, but you're already disqualified because you collabed, so it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Whee! Okay, we made it up. I like the look of the grasses from here is good. I think I would just be careful with your little runoffs because you can see it's kind of dropped down and then it's going back up again because it's fitting with the bunker. Like these two kind of they cause each other issues, right? Because you can't sculpt the bunker deeply enough because you wanted the back of it to be showing, and then that's causing this would have to be high, and it's just like the sculpting is partly decision of where you're placing things, partly how you're doing it. I would say. Yay! Okay, lots of trees and teeny tiny water body. I would kind of like it if this went even further. I think this part of the hole all feels very cramped. And, and honestly, I'd remove this bunker. You've got the water there, like just or like bring it out down to here a little bit so that then I've got the choice of laying back or pushing through here and getting near the water. Or I think if you just had a tiny bunker here, that gives me more options. I would definitely remove this one because this one's just punishing the people laying back with 5 wood and pushes them into hitting driver, and it's broadly going to be the easier shot. I've not left myself the greatest approach. I like this green. Like, simple, but challenging, small. Bunkering around it is nice. I wish this hole just had a little bit more space, but everything else is good. Obviously, we're playing a gap wedge flop shot. Flop. The only shot out there. I would also say I think you've overdone the stands if that were possible. I'd be tempted because like when you go to events, you'll see that there are some stands. So even like an open, for example, at Troon, I was behind the third green for a while. This kind of sticks out as similar-ish, like in terms of the type of hole. It's a short par four. You had one stand and then lots of standing crowds. Here we've got no standing crowds and two giant grandstands, which I think that would be a thing I'd look at change, albeit minor. Oh, there's a part. I wish we could get backdrop, like ground planting in countryside. I like the concession area. That is a lot of portaloos. The grass is lava. Yes. I like this. I like that you've got this little ridge in front of the green. Yeah, this one works nicely. I don't know why I took that club. I think I was I think I was dropping back to examine the hole and just hit swing. Come back. Thank you. Interesting par three. We're about to drop a shot, but it's interesting. Good par. Okay. We now have found our standing crowds, and they are. I can see how this has happened. Basically, when you're doing this, you want to make the brush super thin, and do it as like lines, and then it prevents the big blobs of them. Tee shot feels very similar to the second, I would say, in terms of where the bunkers are cutting in. Yeah, I like the sight line. I do think your bunkering is probably the thing to focus on. Like sometimes when they sit naturally, they look great. This one needs a bit more depth, and I would look at mainly sculpting up the lips a little bit more. Definitely has similarities to two, this one with the little ridge behind it as well. But I like the low profile green side. I'm off that little mound. Don't stop there. Aim. Now turn back in. Hide. Oh well. More willows. Okay. Or five. The water comes into play. We have another funky green. This one makes some more sense. I think if I were going to take green here, I would make sure it's pinnable rather than a backstop. I can't really explain why, other than that I just think you'd want to put a pin there or you wouldn't have this as green. It doesn't really make much sense to have a mound there. Yes. This is nice though. I like the way you've done this, and as a par 4, that is pretty brutal. 507, full carry over water. Pucker up and hit a good shot. Or just pull it into the backstop. Whee! I mean, that's a big step up in difficulty, say, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Just a really tough hole. I feel like that's... I was hoping it was going to get there. It kind of picked on a little more than I wanted it to. Still. So that's a par 4 you take par on and run all day. And then we go to a par 3 where you do the same. I think you're going to find it near impossible to ever get near this pin. Because I don't think your kicker slope isn't quite doing enough to take it down here. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that, yeah, that's kind of like the closest you could get to it. Oh, 7. I would just, yeah, I don't really know what we're doing with fairway here. We don't, your fairway can start at 180, so just start it beyond this bunker. Yeah, and I think the hole would look a lot better as well. This bunker is having some visual issues because you built up the hill and the sand is just getting a bit too high here rather than drop it down a little. Big pit in front of the green. But yeah, when you manage to get lips like this, that gives you more definition and it really shows off the bunker well. Whereas when it rises up really high, that looks less good. A bit more like this and a bit less like this. Right. I like that I have some choices off the tee. I've not taken any of them, but I did have them. And now I'm going to have to... maybe not lay up. Like, not lay up too much. This is the worst distance. Because we're going to have to play the worst shot in the game. Pitching wedge flop shots, just not really a thing. However, here we are. I'm kind of annoyed I didn't get to play a proper shot into that green because I like that green. Oh, we're somehow holding at 2 under. Okay. So now these kind of bits of grasses and things come out of... Feels like it's just kind of changed course. Like, just leap out of here. Like we had this. I think you just need to tie your planting together a little bit more so that this doesn't feel like suddenly here's a barranca with some rocks. Would be my take there. You also don't have to jack up every green, but like this. This just means it becomes target golf a bit more. There. Wee. Yeah, I'd say like 2 feet up is good for most greens if you do want to raise them. And often a lot of people prefer them kind of sitting less than 2 feet above. Got very lucky with my last 2 putts. Neither of them were great. Okay, hitting over. That is a mean waypoint. Because we are not hitting driver here. The problem is I don't really feel like there's a good layup option, so I'm going to run through the fairway if I go there. Very pinched if I go there. Basically kind of feel like I'm forced into 5-iron layup, which doesn't feel great given that. Like, I would try to give some more options around here. Because this is not really an option. I don't know. Because it then leads to me doing stupid stuff because I don't feel any of the other options are great. And I'm just like, well, I'm just going to take the heavy rough at worst. Which I don't think is how you wanted this played. But I just didn't feel there was a decent layup shot, so I might as well just go for it. I like the green side though. Like, yeah, I would have liked to have played a shot into this hole that was not from where I played it. I hope it explains why I did play it. Nope. Okay, through 9, 2 under. Okay, I like that the planting is coming together a little bit more. Like, it wouldn't hurt to bring it in around here as well. We've done a lot of par 3s now where it is just like you have to carry it all the way to the front and then here's your volcano. There's like nobody's stopping a 3-iron near this pin, unfortunately. He says, like, yeah, you have to kill it in the bank, and it's just that is much more luck than judgment, which is kind of what we're trying to avoid. It's a game of skill rather than luck. I don't mind this, but this green is very much more appropriate for a wedge shot than it is for a 3. Okay. Oh, sweeping dogleg. Oh no, kind of split fairway thing. I preferred what I thought the hole was originally, which is those bunkers on the outside of the dogleg and it just turning around here. I think that would be. I would rather it did that. I'm gonna try and launch something. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, because we've got a lot of separated fairways at them and some sculpting bits. It just makes the waypoints get a bit messed up. Oh, we're having a day. I don't think I'm getting 5-iron out of there. Maybe? It's asking a lot, isn't it? Oh, we did. Yes. Oh, we can still do an up and down for a par. 8-iron splash is not the play. 19. Oh, that went nowhere. Hey, chip in for a par. What was it with me and par 5s today? Pride. Did not deserve anything from that. Yeah, I think this hole's probably a bit too separated. I get the ideas. I started out with like, some of my early hole designs did stuff like this, and you gradually refine as you go. I like the sightline here and the more kind of open look down the left-hand side. That's nice. I would also say I think you can use more spline points, like you can see where they are. One here, one here, one here, here. It's just a little bit janky. I love the green side, just sitting onto the water is nice. Yeah. And the fact that it's on a high back tier works nicely because it makes us really chase it, and then if you miss long, that's potential death. Good. Works well. Quite slow, but that's okay. Always safe. Go on. Nah. Would have been a tough hole to birdie. Really like the green side. That's my favourite one so far. Oh. Absent-mindedly miss. No, it kind of turns that way. Oops. Back to even par. Okay. Oh no, we've lost it. Might get there. Go on, get a big kick left. You can't hope for much more than that. Okay. Rescue to par. Be nice to start playing better. This looks nice. Again, I would say your green is very jacked up for a par 3. And I'm just going to check the scorecard because it feels like we've had a lot of 200-yard par 3s. 148 early on, 231, 187, 227, yeah, 188. They're kind of all there's lots of similar distances. So this and 6 very similar, 14 and 8. Try and spread them by like 20 yards or so for each one, and that generally works quite nicely. Although obviously wind direction can mitigate that a little bit. I guess it's more the feel of them, like the pins have often felt tucked and I can't get anywhere near that. At least for this one. I don't think that's a bad shot. And granted, I don't really mind not being able to get near a pin. I think doing sucker pins in this game is really difficult. But it's more like the rest of the course hasn't felt like that. So you get to a par 3 and it just feels like that shot's not necessarily appropriate for that length. That makes sense. Okay. Heading into slightly rockier territory. Oh, hardness is hitting hard. This will be my last one tonight. We'll play 17, pitching wedge it is. I like the gentle land movement. Oh, the slow might help. It did help. That was good. Almost smashed that one past. Ah, yes, the hole with the very long bridge. See, whereas here, you're starting your fairway way. Like, you remember we had that hole where the fairway started at 150. Here, the fairway starts way too far. So, like, that's why that bridge looks really long. Because if you have a shorter driver and you're into a headwind, you are struggling to reach this fairway. And granted, you could play off a forward tee, but I would say starting a fairway at 260 is generally best avoided. You want it to start typically about 180 to 200, pretty much every fairway. There are some types of courses where you can get away with starting it closer. Very rare that you can do it further. Whee! Not a great pitch shot. Okay. A little bit of the neighbourhood in the background, which is nice. Okay, drivable par 4. Always nice for a 17th hole. Again, I just feel the green is a little too propped up. It's been a common theme for this contest, I would say. Just a lot of very high raised greens. If you drop this one down so that almost the green is like halfway up, the top of the green's halfway in that bunker, that sort of height, I think that would be perfect. Oh, I've shoved it. Oh, well, bunker's not a bad miss. Thank goodness, the heavy rough there would have been a bad miss. Hopefully that just rolls down the slope. Not bad. Could have been better. So I'm assuming we get the full city skyline on the 18th tee. Yeah, nice. Very Emirates. At the Burj Khalifa. That's the vibe. Yeah, again, this green just drop it like, I reckon 5 feet down to about here would be ideal. Shot felt good. Come back a little. Lovely. Oh, finished well at least. Recovered over the last 4 holes. What been a bit of a shambles. Yeah, enjoyed that. Again, like really nice vibe. I think there's some things to that stand out, mainly bunkers and like just tee shot ideas slash where you're beginning fairways. Like sizing and scaling are pretty common for first few courses. And just I'd vary those par threes a little bit more would be my other thing. I enjoyed it again. I didn't even notice it was a par 34 on the way out. Interesting. Anyway, I think that's going to be me done for this evening. Starting to yawn is usually a good sign. But thank you for joining along, and I'll try and do another couple again tomorrow, potentially.